Welcome back from the break. If you're just joining us, Darius, Ravengard, and friends later have hit level 5, and they're starting to piece together more of what they believe is the actual plot of this campaign. It still hovers around the Vanthampurs, who they've been pursuing for a while, but I think we were just about, as Matt was going through the process of leveling up Darius, he was also contemplating a long rest.
Yeah, I only have 13 hit points left. I think I need more resources to be able to do anything. Because I mean, at this point, an errant, crit could just end my day. So yeah, I feel like I'm going to have to sit down. But here's the thing, though. I don't know if I have a problem with doing things in the midst of the night. So before I confirm the long rest, or at least confirm what I'm doing in the interim, I wanted to go over a couple of things with you. My ideas are, like I talked to Rain, Rhea, going to Rasneth's tower, even though I'm down the party and I feel like what we've heard from Loricon might need more for this. I also have some contacts that I made. I could hire Jaris. I could ping Captain with this. Like I have plenty of retainers and people that I could get to try with this. And so that's a possibility. I could do a bunch of other just random side quests and just try and build up money. Or like you suggested, I could go into the upper city and just look around. I don't have to fight anybody. I don't have to do anything crazy. I can just gather it, which is not a bad. Guess what I'm. Yeah, I guess what I'm wondering is, would I be able to do a lot of things in the middle of the night? I mean, I guess you could just give me some downtime and we can just do that. I'm just worried, thinking too. Let me see. Where's the card that has that? How much time do we have until the vote?
It is the 22nd. The vote is on the 30th.
30th. Okay, that's actually okay. Um, I am going to head back. Bring Rhea and Darren with me. I'm going to head back over to Garmalt's, and I'm going to check in and see if Captain and Jaris got back from their quest. It's been at least a couple of hours since I sent them out.
Yep, give me one sec here.
Yeah, they went out, I think, around so it's been like maybe.
They managed to kill 6 giant enemy crabs.
Nice. Fantastic.
Which is worth 30 gold, which is their take. There was a cook-off, which they did not participate in because neither of them are chefs. So they just have the 30 gold as the reward. Did I lose you there?
I clicked the wrong thing.
That happens. They killed 6 giant enemy crabs, which was worth 30 gold total. They did not participate in the cook-off because neither of them are chefs.
Yes. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure because you said that they were taking all the money, but Jaris and the captain had the agreement where we were all splitting it 1/3. So Jaris got a third, the captain got a third, and I got a third.
All right, so you get 10 gold.
Yes. And then of course, that paid. Let me see. But yeah. Okay. So Jaris, I had hired for the whole day, so I have him for the rest of the day as well.
Correct.
What I am going to do is, and then it's only 10 gold for Captain Deadeye, but that helps pay for some of his stuff. So I'm giving him money to where he can, change and all that stuff. So it goes towards the I'm helping you thing. So I'm going to let them know that I have some leads that I would like their assistance with. And by the way, I'm wondering, is this enemy crab thing, mate? Is this kind of like just an open quest that whenever we have time, we can just go down and kill crabs and collect stuff?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, yeah, just wondering because it seems like that'd be a fun thing. Anyway, I'm going to inquire if the two of them are interested in coming with me to clear out a witness tower.
Captain Deadeye is apprehensive. Jaris is like, look, you've got me for another, 4 hours. Plus, plus or minus. Like, when does the day end? Does it end at midnight? So like I'll go with you, but you look pretty roughed up.
I'm prepared to hire Jarvis for another day tomorrow. Another 2 gold to have him come with, especially considering I just got him a job that earned him 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, he'll happily take that. Do you want to just drop that right now?
Yeah, I can drop. So I'll drop. I'll just add 8 gold to myself, 10
Mm-hmm.
for me, and then 2 for him. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So I'll tell him to meet me at Joplin's like bright and early tomorrow.
Hmm.
Um, and then inquire if the captain is down to make some coin to pay him with this, considering
Oh,
I have.
he's always down to make some
Okay.
yar.
Um, are we still in the same like what is his fee to be hired for this?
Captain,
Yeah.
cut of the
Or is he
booty. You've already got an
or is he
agreement.
okay. Okay, so we're basically whenever I'm using him, I just have to give him like his fair share effect.
I, as befits a proper shipmate.
So what I will let them know, and mate, you can let me know if there's because I'm looking through my notes here to see exactly what was agreed upon, but I don't want to spend too much time looking away from the camera to just like be looking at notes. As I recall, and you can always change this if it was different. We had agreed to clear out this tower, and this person was going to, because normally this guy cleans people's like soil, cleans their soiled clothes and stuff like that with magically and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then uh, he had something because like I basically we had from what I recall we had agreed to do this, and whenever we came to his tower, he was going to clean our stuff, and then there was something else that like he was going to sweeten the deal.
He
As I
can
recall,
put
because I
he
remember
can
he
put
didn't.
minor enchantments on your clothes.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Because I remember he didn't have a lot of money, but he had his gifts, and so I was like, okay, whenever we come there, clean our stuff, we're soiled, and or at least once a day, like we do with Brother Hodgins. Uh, you know, we can come get our shit clean, and then he was going to give us like minor enchantments. Okay, that makes sense. So what I'll let them know is that hey, as I'm hiring Jarvis, I pull the captain aside and say, look, what you get for this job, isn't monetary per se. And I explained to him that, not that you need it, but some of us would like to be able to just very easily and, for free have our garments cleaned no matter what happens. I'm sure you can understand. Likewise, uh, this wizard has promised to be able to give us minor magical enchantments to our clothing. For instance, if you want boots that don't make sound as you walk around and touch foot on the planks, or if
They
you
do
want
squelch something awful.
exactly, or if you want to make sure that you have a cloak that can billow in the wind, even if there's no, draft to speak of, or
I.
a hat that literally like makes a blink and shine when like I'm describing what I'm assuming is going to happen, like common magical enchantments that
Mm-hmm.
either dramatic or very minor, buffs that can be a certain way. Um, so I'm like saying so as part of the team that does this, you would be entitled to this kind of compensation. Um, I think that's perfectly worthwhile. It also endears you to a local wizard. That is always a excellent boon to have. And I'll let him know that should that not be sufficient, I am prepared to grease your wheels a bit with a bit of extra coin. But just know that if you get coin, you don't get goodies. It's one or the other.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, let's see
Basically,
you.
I'm not telling him you get goodies and also here's some coin. It's like, hey, I can give you a fair amount of coin for your services, or you can get the lavish prizes behind door number one.
Or this car.
Exactly. So it could be great, but it could not be as wonderful as maybe you were. I don't know. I don't personally know this person. We found him, we made a deal, and I seek to hold my bargains, as you know. I'm a bird, so to help, can I?
Yeah, he's in. If this is going to help him get his ship and perhaps a fine new hat along the way, he's in.
It will. It will. Okay, perfect. So I've got Deadeye, I've got Jarvis. Karina's busy. She's not even that helpful in a fight, though. Can I count on Rhea? I know I can count on Darren, but can I count on Rhea to help with this?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you earlier explained that that this wizard might be able to help you discover what happened to Elturel and what you can do about it. She expresses her doubts that if he's a hedge wizard who spends most of his time enchanting clothing, then she doesn't know how much help he's going to be in unraveling the mysteries of hell itself.
Except that he is in the ownership of a tower of a very famous and powerful wizard across the seas that may have books and enchantments that I myself might not be the best at looking at. But if we can clear it out for him, maybe this hedge wizard can go from hedge wizard to mage. What I mean?
Interesting.
And if we were the adventurers that got him there, that's going to endear us incredibly to this upstart wizard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Know what I mean, Joe?
Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, then, if that's okay with you, I think my plan is to uh, wake up at the crack of dawn, go to bed around 8, wake up around 5, get everyone together at Joplin's, head into Rasmus Tower bright and early, get there at dawn. And so that means I would just have like a few hours on the books. If you don't mind, I can think about that off screen, let you know what I do in my.
Perfect. An 8-hour long rest takes you to midnight. It is now Tarsak the 23rd.
And I was thinking just like what do you call it? Staying up until like 8, then going to bed and waking up. Yeah, okay, cool. Just making sure.
All right. Matt banks 5 hours of downtime for crafting and other purposes. Because at 5 a.m. is when you're going to do stuff, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right. We have a couple of things to do because it is now the 23rd. 5 in the morning. Setting clock. Minutes to 0. And we have to roll for the weather. My new button. I'd have hidden this macro that I built.
I'm assuming because it doesn't specify here from what I'm seeing for a long rest, you get half of your hit dice back.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say rounding up or down. I'm level 5, so would I just get 2 back?
Yeah, you get 2 back. We'll say it's rounded down. That just tends to make the most sense.
Yeah, usually it specifies. I wish it specified, but yeah, that makes sense.
That'd be awfully nice, right? An unseasonable chill seeps into the bones of Baldur's Gate. Strong wind tears through the streets and alleyways. Skies mostly clear.
Oh, mate, I'm gonna take this out of some of my downtime. I wanted to interrogate the guy.
Oh yeah.
Shiza, I totally forgot about that on break.
Okay,
so
yeah.
part of my time is going to be spent doing that.
Works for me. Okay, what's your tack when it comes to interrogating the thug who attacked you in the alleyway?
Here is my angle. Oh.
That happens.
Here we go. It's much better. Okay, cool. So I'm assuming after I go talk to these guys, get everything set up, drop my gold, come back, it's probably, I don't think, more than 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I come back, and if he hasn't already been shooken awake, down, kept in the bottom of a cellar with like somebody's watching, then let's say, if he wakes up, if he doesn't wake up by the time I get there, I'm going to bring just a bucket of cold water. And do I have? If you want me to see if I have it, I'll have it. But if not, I'd like to be able to just put a little bit of like I said, like rub some like red staining stuff around where he is to make it look like this is a place where people dealt with hard. I just want to set up a corner of the cellar and make it look like people are routinely beaten and tortured.
Got it. Add a little spice, add a little scene dressing to it.
Exactly. Steam dressing, do some low lighting with the torches, that kind of
thing.
Set the mood, exactly. I want to make sure that Darren is perched overhead, close enough to where he is, I guess you could say, in danger of the hawk pecking at him, but barely in his peripheral, out of sight to where he can hear Darren, can't see Darren. You know what I mean? He could, if he cranes his neck, he can every now and then get a glance at him, but kind of like overhead, over the shoulder kind of a thing, perched up on a torch that isn't lit or something, or a box. I want to have Rhea all, decked out in her, full, powerful, Hell Rider glory, cracking knuckles, with like, her sword at her side. And I want to have found the biggest hammer that we could find, rub some of that red, whatever we're using for blood on it, whether we're picking up blood that was already here from our previous battles or whatever, just have that on a table nearby menacingly,
I like it.
And then yeah, here we go. This is the thing that was covered in scorch marks and stuff like that. So and then I am going to be dressed up as, let's see here. Decided. Here we go. I'm going to choose the outfit for the Death Slingers of Ball. Which ones were they? They were the murder guys of Ball.
Yeah. But I believe the specific term is Nightblade.
There you go, the Nightblade of Ball. And I've collected. I have one of those weird, horrible, curved, wicked daggers that they have.
Nice.
And I make sure that I have like these, like they have these little like not clawed gauntlets, but you know what I mean. They have like those leather gauntlets with like the little like finger pointers at the end. It looks scary, but it doesn't actually do anything, you know. Anyways, I'm making myself look as scary and wicked as possible. We have Rhea draped in a dark cloak, but you can still see like her, powerful form and all that. Darren's hovering overhead, lights are low, and I have her. If he isn't already awake, I have her like dump a bucket of water over him.
All right.
Where are the drugs?
See you. Listen, I know. Train. Shots. And I pull out the dagger from my cloak and just kind of like finger the tip of it. Trust me when I say it's to me. I slowly just walk towards him.
Right.
To know what step.
Roll an intimidation check.
Just a straight intimidation check?
For the time being, yes.
Copy that. No worries.
16.
I don't need it. I don't
16.
need your handout. I'm
okay.
Scared as hell, man.
Yeah, you interrogate him and roll an insight check.
Is this the kind of thing that I could get Darren's help on since I suck at those?
Does Darren have +3 or +6 at insight?
+3.
Okay. Then I'm going to say I'll let Rhea make a roll. We'll just take it. I'm assuming that's better than yours. Yeah, rather than her helping you, she's just a better judge of character than you are. So she's keeping an eye on him.
I feel like when he says things, like I kind of turn to her when he like I'm getting the information. I turn to her and I'm like, allowing her to, be the one that's managing.
Give you that little nod or that little head shake.
Yeah. I mean, heck, if I'm with her, I'll just give her advantage if I can. I'll just assist her every time she's looking for it, considering, she's the one who's a better judge of character,
I'm going to say that you don't have a lot to contribute because you're actively bad at it. So I'm going to have it so that we're just going to take her roll.
I'm okay. I'm not bad.
What's your total modifier with insight?
At 0, but like it's not a negative or anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that you don't have a whole lot. Also, I have to fulfill a request from chat to get inspiration here. Cool, I'll take it.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I did that with the voice mod. All right.
You did. It was good. Sounded real good.
Excellent.
So we're gonna go ahead and cut through this. He is gonna spill the beans. He was paid off by Amrik Vanthampurs.
I knew it. And then there. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, he was paid off by Amrik Vanthampurs. He's got a couple of various hired goons patrolling the docks to search for you and your friends.
Specifically us. Okay.
Yes, specifically you.
Why?
Because there's money in it. They don't tell us that shit. The less you tell your hired workers, the better. Because then if something like this happens, they can't get you.
Who is Aaron Vanthampurs' second? Who's this lieutenant? You go directly to him? I'm assuming someone has to be.
Amrik is fairly hands-on, but let me pull up. I think this information He's got a bodyguard who travels with him most of the time. That bodyguard is sort of his second. Baltus. When the two of them go around, Amrik does his money lending business. Valtus is his primary muscle, who keeps an eye on him, watches his back, carries his cash, etc.
So he's probably pretty well known in circles.
Yeah, and again, he is the son of one of the 4 dukes of Baldur's Gate, but he also spends his time.
Baltus, not Amrik.
Oh,
Baltus.
Baltus. I mean, mostly he's just, yeah, he's well known, but it's not like he has much of a personality outside of being Amrik's right hand man. He doesn't get a whole lot of autonomy. It's just that he's the guy who follows Amrik around.
No, yeah, I
does
guess
his
I mean,
work.
like, obviously he probably goes and spends this money he makes. Like, does he go to bars? Does he, go to, places where shows are done? Like, what kind of life does this guy have outside of just guarding Amrik? He has to have some kind of
Well, the
on the
money
road.
that he carries, like he carries it to and from wherever Amrik is going because it's Amrik's money for the most part. If
Yeah.
you wanted to track him down, you could probably you definitely not find him at the Low Lantern except when Amrik's holding court, which he hasn't been recently. And instead, again, he's asked everybody he's got thugs out on the street looking for you guys along his normal patrol route that he normally
Yeah.
takes to get to and
And
from.
we know he hasn't been taking his. He hasn't even
Mm-hmm. That he's got people patrolling the area.
I guess what and I know you're giving me good information, but I guess what I'm asking here is Valtus, his seconds. He can't be attached to Emmerich 7. Valtus has to
Mhm.
have a life outside of it, at least a minor one, where he goes and picks up chicks in bars, or he drinks, or he goes and sees his family. He has to have something, and there would be, even if it's not, like for instance, if you went to Kmart and talked to one of the employees about another employee, they wouldn't know the ins and outs of everything about them, but they would go, "Oh yeah, they usually go to the corner store, at lunchtime to go do this," or
Mhm.
they would have something to know that, like, oh yeah, I keep an eye on them when they do things, or we've seen him around. I know that he frequents these kind of places, but there has to be something. You know what I mean?
You might be able to catch him at the Blushing Mermaid. You could probably catch him in the undercellar, gambling and doing drugs. Maybe
Okay.
betting on
Oh,
maybe betting on the fights as well.
that's good. Okay, good. That's good to know. Perfect. All right. Um, how much did he pay you? What are these thugs being paid? Either generally to do this, or is there a bonus upon completion? Like what are they getting?
They got 10 gold each if they take you down. Otherwise, it's just 1 gold to go on the patrol.
So they get paid 1 gold a day to patrol, and then 10 gold if they bring one of us in.
Hmm.
Okay.
Their orders are to take you alive.
What have you saying? By the way, he keeps saying you, but I don't look like Darius.
Okay, then yeah, I'm consider this to be
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
third-party
yeah.
information.
Oh, good, good, good. Okay, perfect. Just making sure. Just making sure. Um, how many people does he have in his employ?
This guy doesn't know. He knows of at least a dozen other guys who all got the same deal.
At least a dozen other guys. Uh, looking at, and I'm not making comment on it, but looking at, you said he didn't have any super distinguishing clothing. If I am having this guy kind of stripped down to his barest self, is there any like tattoos, or does he have anything that was covered up that showed that he was a part of another group or anything like that?
No, it doesn't seem like Amrik is working with the guild. He's sort of working with any lowlife who's willing to take money. He's not like maybe it's all folks who came into the same ship, but he's not working with a crew or any other faction.
Okay, so there's no. Okay, I was thinking about crews. Okay, so he's
Yeah.
he's actively avoiding factions and crews. He's
Hmm?
literally taking mercenaries, adventurers, people who came in off the docks, things like that.
Hmm?
Okay, people with no specific affiliation.
Correct. I need to AFK for about 30 seconds. In that time,
Okay.
be interesting by talking about the different choices you have for your trick throw. Be right back.
Okay, yeah. For those of you, upon level up, Darius did not get two trick, but as those of you there know, currently Darius is using a subclass that I myself on. It's a port third edition system called Thrower Prestige class back in and I'm taking a lot of the old Prestige classes from third edition and systems and updating them, importing them, and trying them out with a lot of currently, the Master Thrower is a system very similar to the Battle Master 5th edition, where they get Cunning Artifice, much like maneuvers, which uses a very similar system. They get Cunning dice instead of the Superiority dice. The dice do less damage and level up over time. they get trick throws just like the fighter gets maneuvers, but at a slower rate. And to make up for the fact that they get less known maneuvers and they don't do as much damage, some of the effects have a little bit more of a bite to it. Considering again, rogues usually when they attack a single target bite and themselves do. And as time goes on, as we level up in this campaign and things get down and dirty, we're going to be seeing more abilities that the Thor will be getting over. But for now, since I've leveled up, I am going to be selecting probably a few different skill tricks just because I'm trying to make sure that a lot of skill tricks, rather, I'm sorry, trick throws, I'm varying them up since we're trying to practice them. I don't want to just use the same ones for too long. I kind of want to switch it up and give a variance and test things out, see how they've gone. Just since we've been on stream with Descent into Avernus over the last several months that we've been doing this, I've been working on the class and trick throws themselves and making adjustments, either raising or lowering the power threshold or duration of certain abilities based off of what we've found. And so far, I'm very proud of it. Like, it's pretty in line with a lot of other, especially Rogue. It doesn't really feel overpowered by any rights. There is a lot of things we've had to. I'm really proud of it now.
I was going to ask chat if you were sufficiently entertaining while I was gone, but chat has spoken. You get inspiration.
Woo! Yeah, and so basically at this point, I've been using Disarming Strike, Lingering Wound, and Tumbling Throw for a while, considering it looks like things are going to be very, the name's James Bondulance for Darius. I'm probably going to hold on to Tumbling Throw since I haven't been able to use it that much unless I get surrounded. Pardon me.
That worked the exact opposite of the way that you wanted it to work, Matt.
Gosh darn it. You know what? I heard it double do it, and I was like, no.
The cough wasn't muted, and then your continued dialogue was.
You bastard. Okay, so I'm thinking I love Lingering Wound. I think we've done enough work with it, Nate, where I feel confident that it feels good. So I'm probably going to move away from Lingering Wound for now. But I think I'm going to give a little more time on Disorienting Strike. I feel like it's a fun ability. And I like the idea that it can be used in combat to stop an attack, but also out of combat to kind of throw a dagger, hit someone in the head, dink, what was that? And then disorient them so you can run by really quick. They fail their perception check. And then they're like, what the hell was that? What is this doing here? And they're
Must
on
have been
alert.
the wind.
Yeah, but they didn't see you, or it must have been the wind. So I think what I would like to do, just because of things here, I think I'm going to trade out Lingering Wound for Distant Throw. Distant Throw will allow me to make a weapon attack with a thrown weapon. When I expend my Cunning Die, I can ignore disadvantage by attacking beyond my line. Normally, with a thrown weapon for the player, you have a very short range. You throw the weapon, but you only have 20 feet. You can do so normally, and then you have your far range, which for most weapons is up to 60 feet with a thrown weapon, but you do so with disadvantage. This would allow me, by expending my Cunning Die source, I could ignore that disadvantage and add my Cunning Die to the damage by doing it. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun and will help me out with a lot of these solo events. I am going to be making.
Not a bad plan. I'm also going to go ahead and cut this for you. Amrik has been hiding out at the family manor, where normally he would be, holding court in the Low Lantern. Something spooked him, so he's not out there. He's been hiding. He's been sending out his thugs to do business, to track you guys down, to beat you up.
Yeah.
And his goon, Valtus, it would normally be seen in the Undercellar, but has also not been seen recently.
Oh, okay. So they're just going to ground then.
Yeah, it seems like they might be holing up for the time being.
Okay.
It's not like the attack on the slaughterhouse was subtle.
No. No, it wasn't. And we're trying to make friends, and it seems like we did a decent job, but I think we mostly just stuck our target on our faces. But I mean, I'm sure we got some clout with. That's good. Okay. I think at the ending of this, we got a lot of good information, and then Altus Darius, leans in. I look over to the sewer grate next door. Stink, but it's fine. Look over to Rhea and her giant sword. piecemeal you. Just say, or never look.
Docs, please.
Say,
You're may need to adjust your noise gate. The
oh, I
low
was just
tone.
whispering.
I know the low tone is super effective. Love it for the roleplay, but Discord keeps going, well, I guess he's not talking. I'll just cut out here in the middle of this dramatic dialogue.
I'll just lean it. Yeah, we'll futz around with that. I'm not used to whispering in the.
Quite all right.
Okay.
But if you want to have him basically, bail this city, leave the city, get on a boat, and dip, all right, you can scare him straight and have him do that.
Perfect. And I do let him know, like, if it turns out that he runs into any of his other compatriots on his way out, give him this fair warning, let them know the same, and I am to say here, I'm going to take Darius's family ring.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna superheat the front of it, and then I'm gonna press it just to the cheek here. I'm not gonna give him a huge brand, just a very light little thing, a little burn.
Oh,
and,
dip. Doing the bat
say, like,
brand now.
I'm gonna let him know that while they may be out to roost, Raven Guards, and should warn them if you're should they cross Darius and his ilk, such as stop them, and just kind of like doing the whole like, yeah, give him a brand saying, more to come, bad evil shit, and spread it amongst your goons. The Batman's here, and he's gonna kick the crap out of anybody who.
All right.
That whole thing.
As you sear it into his flesh, he goes, "Ah, my brand!"
Nice.
All right.
Okay, and then after that, Darius goes to bed knowing that he did good, not killing somebody, so getting vengeance for the city.
I failed this city.
Okay.
Okay.
Harvey Dent, can we trust him? Amrik Vanthampurs, trust him.
Absolutely not. All right, the next. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and then before heading out for the evening, or before going to bed, I'm gonna just run over because I think it's still close by. Okay, I know it's in Heapside, but it's right next to where I'm at. Can I just pop over really quickly without taking too much time to Baldur's Mouth? I want to just give Mr. Needle just a few updates on what I've been finding.
I will roll for encounter because there's been a lot of and I'm supposed to roll.
Then I'll do it tomorrow.
I'm supposed to roll every 30 minutes, regardless of how far you travel. So we'll do it tomorrow.
No, do it tomorrow. Yep. Go to rest. He's the reporter. He should be up early.
Okay. You wake up at 5 a.m. the next day.
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay.
Good. I clicked a volume thing.
Spooky. Okay. You wake up the next day at 5 a.m. You have your breakfast. The tea house is still, Klimjas is still taking inventory and recording how much of everything that you have and starting to reach out to suppliers and working on hiring people. It's going to take another day or two for this place to be fully armed and operational, but he's still working hard on getting it ready to go. He's out there recruiting new employees to work the front desk and to bus tables and all that stuff.
And we left, as far as I know, because I only have so much gold on me, we left a lot of that money, like all the money basically we found he's using to get this place up and running. We're using it for bribes for Rhea, or not for Rhea, for Tarina. We're using it for him to get things going. Like I'm assuming we're gonna lose some of that gold to get things operational and all that, but
correct.
It'll be a good startup for the operating cost for what we need.
And the more gold you can get for that, the better.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Definitely.
Okay. So it's 5 a.m. on Tarsak the 23rd. What would you like to do?
I told them to get here bright and early, so I'm assuming that Captain Captain Deadeye and Jarrus are here at Joplin's now. They're there and they're ready.
Yep, they're with you. I'm going to put them into your marching order.
Perfect. All right, so we have There we go.
Benched.
Not that it isn't hilarious, but someday we need to change the name from Captain Shrimp Toast back to something a little more respectable.
Captain Deadeye. Here, I'll do it.
Okay. Yeah, so we've got Jaris, Rhea, Captain, myself, Hawk. Oh my god, we have a lot of non-casters here. This is not Scheiße. Okay, well, if we get hurt, I can always bring us to Brother Hodgins, and that'll help.
Hmm.
Do I have any potions on my side? That's the thing, though, is that if we don't have anything that can be done in the moment, we have out of combat stuff. I have 2 potions of healing. Do they carry any potions on them in case things get terrible for them?
Let's see if Deadeye has nothing. Deadeye has whatever he has that you've given him, basically. He has almost nothing.
He has just basic gear, yeah.
Jaris does have some equipment on him. He's wearing a beaded armband of elven design, and he's got some very nice fancy boots and a couple of things tucked away, but he doesn't, when you ask about healing potions, he shakes his head.
Okay, well, I hope that you guys are ready to rock because we got shit to do.
How do you want your marching order, by the way?
I think how we're looking at it here, and again, just I know that it's some some basic stuff, but oh, can you give me a chance to move the 2 of them, or did you want to leave that up to you? Either way, it's fine.
I'll grant access. I can't grant you access to Jaris because he's got a full character sheet. Deadeye doesn't have a full character sheet yet, so just tell me where you want Jaris. He is, again, a scout. His primary attack skills, he's got his spear, his longbow. He has reach, which is great for area control, and he's got ranged attacks. So, both hands.
What's his AC looking like?
You see him, he is wearing leather armor.
And I know that he's pretty dexterous, but I guess here's the thing: sizing him up, me versus him. Do I look a little more geared up than he does, like in terms of like
you
my
do.
armor?
You are definitely better geared than him. He is a squishier target than you.
Okay, then I would prefer. Gosh, is that what he has? He only has 30 hit points. Deadeye. He had way more than that when we fought him. Oh my god, are you kidding me?
You've played video games before. When Magus joins your party, he stops being a boss.
You bastard. Oh god. Okay. And then how about the captain? I'm assuming he's in the same boat. He's, probably about as geared up as I am.
Well, let me see here. I don't have him linked to the bandit captain character sheet at the moment. So it's more, I don't think he actually has 30 hit points. I think it's more of an abstraction.
Okay, so he is a bandit captain still.
Yeah, he's still specced to hell. He's got a 15 AC for his studded leather. He's got plenty of HP. Yeah, he's still pretty badass.
Then I think we're gonna have Rhea in the front. We're gonna make a diamond. If you can put Jaris right here, like across from Deadeye, and then I am just going to be here. And then Darren, I'm going to put in the middle, but he's basically just flying above me or on my shoulder at all times.
All right, if he's outriding, he's here. I'm going to put him here, but every time we deploy him into a scene, you'll have control over that.
He mostly is just, either on my shoulder or flying overboard. He's just doing his thing. So, yeah.
Okay, 5 a.m. Here you are in Eastway. What would you like to do?
I'm moving to Baldur's Mouth. I'm letting them know that I'm going to take a quick moment just to give a quick update to my buddy.
All right, that takes 20 minutes. I'm not rolling for encounters yet.
That takes 20 minutes to go from Joplins to there?
Yep. It's an abstraction that we decided on whenever you cross a border, just to make it easy, make it simple.
Okay.
But I'm not rolling for encounters yet.
Yep. All right, cool.
You arrive at Baldur's Mouth, where... Remember that halfling who was just hanging out yesterday?
Yep.
He's there, busily working on a story about
because I told him to go here. I told him to hook up with Baldur. With Baldur's Mouth.
Edvard Needle, Mr. Needle. Yep. He's busily working on an article about the fact that there was a terrible drug den.
Isn't he also a halfling?
Yeah, he's a halfling.
Cool.
So he's just writing this all up. What sort of scoop are you going to give Mr. Needle?
So what I'm letting him know, basically, from what I found, I just share what I got from my my source, uh, that Amrik Vanthampur is hiring non-affiliated thugs, basically, to go after Darius Ravengard and his venturing party that helped out in basically, he already knows that the Vanthampurs have loose connections with the cult. And I
Mhm.
was getting him all that information that it's more than loose. We already gave him that information showing that he's been paying, that the Vanthampurs have been bankrolling the Cult of the Dead 3. I'm basically, because I told him not to push the story out yet. I think it's what we talked about. He's gonna wait until the right time to do it.
So he's adding this to
Um,
his file.
yes, I'm giving him stuff to add to his file that the Vanthampurs are hiring people to take out the adventurers who stopped the Cult of the Dead 3, that they're hiring non-affiliated people, so that way it's hard to trace back to them, and that they're hiding out in their villa, that they're not going out to their normal spots. So just giving him more data, basically.
Right.
And I comment that I see that the kid is here. He was there, seeing what happened with Joplin's, and that basically I'm hoping that I can have his support in kind of changing things up. I let him know, in case he didn't already know. I revealed to him what was going on at Joplin's, that it was a drug den and that they were extorting people and trapping people, and it was a really bad scenario. They were involved with the guild. If he didn't already know stuff, I just spill like everything that Joplin's was doing, and I let him know that we have, basically, I'm telling him that we're basically doing it, uh, not, I guess, sanctioned with, the Flaming Fist, but that the Raven Guard estate is for the good of the city, has
Hmm.
removed, that drug kingpin, and is basically stepping in to make sure that they can improve the city in that area. So basically letting him know that we're taking that thing over, and that we're having to deal with the guild. But the plan is to make sure that instead of targeting, our youth and getting them addicted to this moonflower tea and all that stuff, we're going to be doing community outreach. And even though we're still going to be affiliated with the guilds, uh, it's going to be a far better scenario that isn't going to impact negatively the peoples of Eastway or others.
Well, Palace Kettle Whistle especially appreciates it. He's looking a little bit gaunt, a little drawn, a little shaky, because he'd really been enjoying the tea that they serve at Joplin's. Like, he couldn't stop thinking about it. He was always going back for more. It was starting to affect the quality of his work. He had no idea he was slowly being dosed. So
Oh.
he is grateful for the whole story, even if he's going to have a rough couple of weeks as he throws off the lingering addiction that was brewing in his very vein. So congratulations, you've gained a little bit of renown.
Yes.
And they're going to add that to their file. They're going to start writing they're going to write an article about your endeavors. They're trying to protect your identity to a certain degree, but you're also allowing yourself to be a public figure by the way that you're describing this. So they're going to start getting that column out. Anything else you want to do while you're here?
Yeah, no, and just to make it clear, that's exactly what I want. I want to make sure that we have this connection to where we have this group. And I don't know if they've already been calling out Darius as part of this adventuring group, going around solving things around the city and helping,
Mm-hmm.
just for the cults and all that. But I want it to be like they're doing things that are kind of like hinting that Darius is at the head of it. And I want to wait for the moment where he prints that it is Darius Ravengard and he's been trying to help the city, and we'll wait till the right moment when we're here, when he's trying to overturn the Senate and all that stuff. We're kind of
Okay.
like laying the breadcrumbs for that.
All right.
Making
Propaganda
sure that
it is.
Darius, yeah, making sure Darius looks like a man of the people and he's trying to fight for them, but also that he's, keeping things in line for the. Basically, what he's going to do is that among the paper's going to help the people hopefully endear himself, whereas he's going to have to go personally to the patriarchs and try and do that himself. But at the same time, Darius has been doing, a good amount of work for the patriarchs as well in terms of helping their nobles. They've been involved in these drug dens and they've been captured by his cultists. He's saved quite a few people here and there up there. So he's working on it slowly but surely.
You're
We're
sowing
making things happen.
seeds. You're sowing the seeds at the very
Yes,
least.
exactly. Okay, that's all I wanted to do there. From there, we can go ahead and we'll move our way up. And I think the best way to do this to get to Ryzen's Tower would be to go through the Heap Gate and then.
Oh, passing from one neighborhood to another takes 10 minutes, not 20 minutes, by the way.
Oh, good.
But I am
Thanks.
going to say
Okay.
it takes you a while to tell your tale. Like, that's not a quick
Yeah.
process.
No, totally. I mean, I figure, yeah, I think 15 minutes, 5 through Eastway, and then 10 to cross. So That makes sense. And then yeah, and then I think, but basically what I'm getting at here is we'll head from Joplin's to Baldur's Mouth. From there, I'm going to head to the Heat Gate, and then from there, we're going to just cut across going to Rise of Myths. This is the path we're going, which will take us through 1, 2, and then finally 3 districts. But a lot of it is on the edge, so hopefully not too bad.
All right, so 10 minutes for this initial travel. Boink. It takes at least 20 minutes to tell your tale there. Because like you and I can talk for much longer than that, and it goes by very quickly. So at least 20 minutes. Then it always takes 20 minutes to pass through a gate, get into the wide. I'm going to roll for random encounters.
Okay. Copy that. Ooh. Ooh. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. Stand by.
I'm standing by.
Do I have oh yeah, no, I do. Yeah, sick. I get to use some more of my map assets. That's awesome.
Oh, cool. You could not do that also. You know, I just want to let you know it's an option.
Too late, darling. Too late.
Oh no.
Get some flaming fist here.
Oh, poopy flaming fist. No, 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 no.
Oh, you're going through a gate.
Yeah, but I'm a patron. I have the coin and everything. Let me through.
Yeah, but they should be on the map. They should be on the map. I serve the flaming fist.
Are you taking me to a new map? Is that what's happening?
I will be in a moment.
Oh, okay, good. Just making sure. Because my thing's been weird. I can't open up demon drawing tree.
Have you F5'd yet?
Will F. Not going to kill all my open things. It's fine if it. I did. Okay. Wait. Hey, you see what I see?
Nope, I never see what you see.
It says Umberto is in Roll20 right now.
Might have left himself logged in.
Since like weeks ago.
It's entirely possible. There are some people who never shut down their computers, you know what I mean?
Okay, it loaded for me. Yay, I can see it.
Hooray. Go ahead and upside down yourself. Oh, and also unshrink yourself because this map uses a different size. So we just.
Oh my god, where am I? Can you teleport me to where I am?
Wob, wob, wob.
There we go. Ah! Oh god, that's a lot going on there.
I get to use one of the maps, one of the special Baldur's Gate maps that I had.
I am not allowed to unshrink myself.
What?
There we go.
Now unshrunk.
And there we go. Okay, I turned Darius up right side up, so he should be fine. Oh, he went right side down.
Might have been me. Might have been me. Yeah, so you guys don't, like, you can always get through the gates, but you don't always get to cut the line.
Yeah. I'm we're gonna all surround Rhea. Not making it super obvious, but just kind of giving her cover, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and approach the gate. I've got Darren sitting on my shoulder like a nice little chunky hawk. And it's really early. So I'm gonna say that we approach, and I look over towards like probably one of these guys or both of them, and I just flash my patriarch badge.
Mm-hmm. There's a whole.
I tell everyone to look groggy, look groggy, look tired. Have your cloaks covered over. Don't have your weapons like super exposed. You know, just
it doesn't take much. For some reason, they're not letting anyone through the gate. That doesn't apply to you guys, but there's like a packed crowd of people who are annoyed, who they're just like, sorry, this gate's closed. No one's allowed through. No one, and then you push forward, and they're like, hey, you pipe down. No one's allowed. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. What is your passive perception?
Not good. Let me inform you. It is a whopping 10. Darren's is much better, a whopping 16.
Okay. All right. You hear as you're like there. Yep, of course. Come along, come along. As you're proceeding forward, you hear screams behind you.
Behind me? What?
One of the people, just like merchants waiting to attend the wide this day, you know, they live in the lower city, they have to go through into the upper city in order to conduct their business, clutches at their neck and dies as a crossbow bolt embeds itself in their neck.
Does anyone in our party, can they tell from where?
No.
Not even Darren can like snap like, oh, it's over that way. Nothing at all.
Mm.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay, at least this. It's clutching their neck. I'm assuming it's like this. They're looking this way. If it's in their neck, is it in their neck going this way, going this way, going this way?
Roll a perception.
I will do that thing that you do.
And you can roll for any member of your party. And I'm going to give Jarus a roll because Jarus is particularly keen-eyed. It's one of his special abilities.
Ooh, nice. Go Jarvis. Okay, well, Darren got a 25.
Holy
so I
shit.
Look wherever my hawk looks, I look.
You see a shadowy figure clinging to the eaves of the structures up here. It's not actually a drow.
Yeah. No,
It's
I
just
get
the
you.
default art for this particular unit. Like, hooded, masked, crawling back down the slopes.
I get the flaming fist. I point up and say, there, the assailant on that roof, heading back over. And I run after them.
Okay, roll for initiative.
Okie dokie. I do the thing you ask. God, should I even bother with this? I shouldn't even bother with this. Why am I bothering with this? No, I'm gonna go fight a wizard tower. No, God. I look to my companions, and I look towards the tower I can see off in the distance. Then I look to the person that died. Oh, I have to go. Yeah. All right.
Okay, roll for initiative.
Yeah. Darius wouldn't leave someone. It's danger for his people. All right.
21, not bad. And you selected your token, good job.
I did not forget.
Yep. Jarus
I know
is
Darren
not.
goes. Oh, go ahead.
You have two retainers, they're both attached to your roles right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here's you.
But Jareth and Deadeye, they get their own.
Correct.
Turns.
They're on their own counts. Selected, but that's because it's weird. Okay, wow. And Jarus is on a 3. We're probably going to go very quickly into chase rules here.
Yeah,
because
I think that's a good idea.
Although do admire this map, by the way. Feel free to admire the map in all of its glory.
It's an amazing map, by the way. I love this map. I need to find out where you do your interior decorating because I need to find that same person.
Yep. Pogs Props on Patreon. Plug. Okay. Captain Deadeye, he sort of looks to you like, what are we doing here? Are we giving chase?
Permission granted. We need to help these people.
Yeah! And he gives chase. He has to dash in order to get close, so he can't actually attack this round. Darius, it's your turn. You haven't entered the magical chasing zone yet, so right now numbers and such are still accurate.
Okay. So I'm going to enter the magical chasing zone. I'm going to rush up to. You know what? What I'm going to do is, you said they were sliding back down this way. Was what they were doing, right?
Yeah. They peeked up over the crest of the roof, took the shot, and then dipped.
Okay. To try and make sure that I can keep the eaves of these things between me and them. I want to poke around and look, but I also want to make sure I'm having cover or just not line of sight so they can't just shoot me, since I know they have a crossbow. But I want to make sure that I can get close. Actually, well, first of all, Darren, the White Hawk of Chanthar, is going to take to the sky, putting this. We have the dawn sky coming up. Luckily, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So Where is the east right now? Are we looking this way or this way?
This way is east.
Cool. Perfect. Darren is going to take off into the sky, do a full dash to
Mhm.
put himself in the position of the sun, hopefully blocking out anyone trying to see him. And he is going to keep a beat on this person. And I'm going to use Darren to track them.
Okay, excellent. And then
I
what is
myself am going to be dashing this way and keeping myself still trying to every now and then have a beat on them, but using Darren to help me. And I'm going to be making sure that I keep myself under the eaves of these buildings and ready to be able to react.
okay? On the assassin's turn, the assassin enters the chase zone. So now I'm just going to move everyone around to show the fact, because they just dip east deeper into Heapside, right? So now they're off the map. Now we're just in various urban tunnels. So I'm going to move things around to reflect rough positioning. So killer, and let me give you some more speed as well.
Yeah.
You also know that while the Flaming Fist will probably give chase, they are not as speedy as you are.
Yeah.
Here.
But you always have to get the cops involved, so that way when you catch them and you're getting them set up, the cops get there right when you catch them, and it's
Properly dramatic.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're now in chase rules. Also, the killer is going to try to hide. And the way that the chase rules work, hold this up, I believe is if they successfully hide from you, the chase is over and they escape.
Okay.
252. Your Dungeon Master's Guide, if you have yours, but you don't need to.
Yeah, the nice thing is that Darren has advantage on perception checks, and they
Yes.
have a beat in the person, so hopefully...
Darius also has advantage on perception check.
Oh, fantastic. Gosh, good job, Darius. Dude, this guy is worth every penny.
Beginning a chase, running the chase. You can dash up to 3 times your Constitution modifier. You can attack within range. You're going to have cover like almost the entire time. There will not be opportunity attacks because everyone's assumed to be moving at the same time. It ends when one side or the other stops, when the quarry escapes, or when you're close enough to catch it. If neither side gives up the chase, the quarry makes a dexterity check at the end of each round, after each participant in the chase has taken their turn, and is compared to your passive perceptions. So, alright. That's how we're doing this.
Cool.
Okay, so everyone joins the chase. That's the end of the round. Captain Deadeye is going to, let's see. Each participant rolls a d20 at the end of the turn. Captain Deadeye is just going to haul ass and try to stay in the chase. He is now dashed for 1 round. And I'm going to roll for complications. No complications. So he's just still in the chase.
Wait, just so we know, is each one of these effectively a move? Like if you move, dash, that kind of a thing?
Yeah. So
move action. Is that what we're looking at here?
Yeah, we'll say it's that for the time being. So if you don't use the action to dash on your turn, you make no progress. If you have an extra dash, then you make 1 extra square of progress.
Gotcha.
All right, so Deadeye keeps the pace. Darius, your turn. You can gain 1 extra square of movement if you just use your whole turn to chase.
I will do that.
Okay, move yourself up 1. Rhea is going to keep pace because she can't catch up with you, but Darren can stay ahead for the time being.
Yeah.
As long as Darren doesn't lose track or engage an attack, Darren can't be outrun at this point.
Okay.
So if you want, Darren can go in and actually start landing attacks, which will switch back to combat mode, but it'll be combat mode with basically only Darren. And if he keeps running, it's going to be awkward, so let's just do this for the time being.
Okay.
All right. The killer is going to... They cannot use dash as a bonus action, so they're just going to keep running. And Jairus is going to dash as well. So everyone's dashed for 1 round of the chase.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't roll for complications. I rolled a 2. Matt, a large crowd blocks your way.
Can I do something to try and evade it, or am I just screwed?
No, you can do something to try to evade it. The default options are athletics or to push your way through, or acrobatics to weave your way through.
Oh, I absolutely am going to kip off the side of a building. I'm going to run, see this huge crowd gathering from my thing, and I'm going to literally just wall run. I'm going to jump and and then keep going.
Nice. All right. Roll acrobatics.
Acrobatics. Getting an 18.
Yep,
Oh,
you easily kip past, no problem. And I'm not going to roll separately for your retainers. I am going to roll for the assailant, however. 5. The ground beneath your feet is slippery with rain, spilled oil, or some other liquid. So, in the panic caused by the murder, a candle merchant spilled some of their wax on the ground. So, the killer has to make a dexterity saving throw, which I'm going to roll in secret. Which they beef! They beef! I rolled a 2! Oh my god. Yeah, falls prone.
Ooh.
Which is going to be a problem. Jarrus dashes to keep up. It's the end of the round. The assailant is going to make a stealth check with disadvantage. If they beat you, they vanish. If they beat the whole party, they still manage to vanish. They are that slippery. But if they fail, you catch them because they slipped on their ass. So I'm going to roll this.
Kind of like they slipped, but then they like crawled into an alley and hopefully we don't find them kind of a thing.
Exactly. So they couldn't keep running. They are going to try to hide. Disadvantage,
right.
Secret roll. Jarrus finds him. I'm pretty sure Darren finds him. What's your passive perception?
Mine is 10, but Darren's is 16.
Yeah, no.
And Darren had advantage during daytime, so 21.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. You're this bastard is caught. I'm gonna move us over to the side just to give us some, interesting terrain to fight over.
Copy that. Did you want to place us where we are when the fighting or when they get caught?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
You're definitely ahead. Darren is way ahead. Rhea, Jarrus are all sort of right behind. Okay. We now enter proper initiative. And the killer is prone.
Ooh.
That was a stroke of bad luck.
That was.
Captain Deadeye advances and just starts chopping. Just starts slashing.
Choppity chop.
Mm-hmm.
Cut up the bottom and cut off the top and choppity chop.
With advantage, Yar! He's going in with his cutlass. 2 attacks with the cutlass and 1 attack with the scimitar.
Yeah.
Slice. That's a hit for 4 points of damage. That's a miss. And that's a hit. So he inflicts 8 points of damage.
Nice.
All of which goes through.
Oh gosh. I already know what's going to happen here.
It is now your turn.
Okay. Well, at this point, Darren and I are going to swoop in. So Darren is going to move to this side. 30. Right. And Darius is going to rush up to the side here, drawing his rapier as he goes. And I am going to just have Darren and I strike down, flanking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. All right.
This is gonna suck.
We go.
Okay.
23.
Wow, your sneak attack. No, it was your damage dice that just sucked. Okay, so 17 points of damage.
Well, and remember, normally I've been using my cunning die as well as part of this, so I'm missing a cunning die that I normally usually get.
Yeah, amongst all the other dice just spewed across the battle map right now. And Darren automatically hits.
Just with regular talons.
I'll set it to advantage and roll because it could be a crit.
Oh,
actually, no, it can't be a crit because it's just an auto attack.
Just an auto attack. Yeah.
Also,
exactly.
all of Darren's specials have refreshed.
Yes, thank goodness.
Okay, 8 more points of damage.
Nice. And I hold the rapier over them and just, proclaim they've been caught. They need to surrender or die.
Okay.
Since I didn't get a chance to do a bonus, can I try and actually threaten them with that as a bonus action, like an intimidate?
Yeah, roll it.
Rolling it. In the name of the law, I hold out my. Wait, does he know about my badge? Did I know about?
I don't know. Your call.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna tell him like the cops are on their way. You've been bested. You've been caught. Surrender now and receive lenience. Put down your arms. Submit.
Uses half of his movement to stand up. His action to disengage.
Yeah, of course he does. All right.
and runs. But not very far. You'll never take me alive!
As you wish. Jaris, get him.
Target locked. Jaris is going to fire with the longbow twice. Actually, yeah, Jaris is going to fire with the longbow twice.
Should we not to judge what you're doing, but should we move him here so he doesn't have cover from me?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He missed both of his shots.
Oh, okay.
And then, yeah, like even without that problem, he still had problems.
He still had problems.
He's gonna move up to try to keep pace so he doesn't lose sight of the guy. But again, he's got a great
over his shoulder. Oh yeah, he's got a great perception. I look over his shoulder, like, dude, what am I paying you for? Like Darius turns and like one arrow like goes for him, and Darius has to parry the arrow out of the way. What the hell, man?
Them that die will be the lucky ones.
Also, sorry, Rhea rushed forward as well.
Yeah, go ahead and double move her.
She's on my turn.
Oh, she would have been able to attack while the thing was prone.
That's what I was saying. She would have been right here, and when he moved away, she would have taken a swipe.
All right. I'm gonna make her roll. I think it's fair when you have retainers that only one of your retainers gets to auto hit.
I agree. Oh, I think it's basically Darren. Like that's since he's
because he's your retainer and Rhea's just sort of on loan from the party. But do roll her attack with advantage.
Yeah.
I should level up your retainers.
You should, because they're 2 levels lower, right? So they should have 4. Oh wait, no, there are. Wait, no, they're 1. I don't know what.
I think retainers are 1 level lower.
1 level lower. That's right. They're 1 level.
So I think she might be a level 4 retainer now, and same with Darren, which is neat. I don't think you unlock more powers, but you do get another
health level, which is so important.
Yes. All right. So
14. I don't think that hits.
A 14 does not hit.
The slippery. He or she? Is this a lady or a dude?
It's a he.
He. Okay.
He's a he. Yep. All right. Cool. All right. So Deadeye is gonna catch up with the killer and give the old slashity slash. One, and not with advantage anymore. Once, twice, 3 times a pirate.
Oh my gosh. Deadeye, look at you go.
-6. -9. -4. Slashity slash.
I shout at Deadeye, get around him, flank him.
Arr!
Everyone, cut off their escape. We have to get him.
All right.
Hopefully that person didn't die.
Darius, it's your turn.
Okay, this person's is going down. I take out my no, what? No, I don't want to use my powers. I gotta save him from the tower. I rush up and I just drive my blade through their back, hopefully.
Okay. Roll this with advantage because you're flanking.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's
Stabbed.
more like it. That's more like it. They still up?
Yes.
Not for long.
Swing.
All right, Darren. Get him, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Down goes the killer.
And same thing. Just Darren rushes up, latches onto their wrist, and just rakes away as they pull away. And again, we're not trying to kill this person. We're disabling them. We need to question them.
Got it. Now serve the flaming fist.
And we keep Rhea off away from the flaming fist, kind of,
quick hide.
just stay off in the distance. She helped, but don't ask what that armor's about.
Good job, citizen. You've apprehended a dangerous serial killer who's been operating in the area for a while.
Excellent. I approach. I pull the flaming fist off to the side. I flash him my deputized badge and say, "All right, make sure that Captain Zodge, right?
Yeah, Captain Zodge.
Captain Zidane, yeah. Make sure that Captain Zodge knows that that Darius and his crew, are still working to unearth the evils of this city, and credit's due and all that stuff. But happy to help.
All right, you gain 2 renown with the flaming fist.
And then on the down, I'm like, is there a bounty for this serial killer? By the way, is that a thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you wandering treasure equal to the the dude's villainy. So roll
Right.
percentile dice.
I can do that. Oh, doing that. There we go. Okay, no, I did it. Took some time, but I did it.
94. Okay. Roll 4d6.
Not bad. Not
Okay.
bad.
140 gold
Wow. All
Yeah.
right. I'll take it.
is the bounty on this
Oh.
dangerous fugitive. Chat just
That's
gave
what I would've
inspiration to the Flaming Fist. So I am going to give them a perception check to try to spot Rhea.
What? Gosh, darn it. What are you doing?
So we're gonna roll Rhea's. Let's see, Rhea
But-
base. Go ahead.
They have cover. She has cover. Just-
Okay, so she gets a +2 on this. On a stealth check, at a +2 with 17 versus the Flaming Fist,
She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing.
who gets advantage on this perception roll.
Oh God, that's right. oh.
Fortunately, this Flaming Fist officer sucks. So I'm gonna roll this twice. He has to beat us. Oh no, it went once. That's great. Yeah, he does. Even with the
Whoa.
advantage, he fails to spot the illegal Hell Rider. You gain 140 XP. You gain 2 faction with the Flaming Fist for bringing in this dangerous random encounter nameless fugitive. The random encounter was a serial killer.
Oh wow.
No
Nice.
plot information behind it. Just look, Baldur's Gate is a nasty place, and
Dude, I straight up thought this was going to be that ghost killer again.
nope.
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't.
Nope, this is just some goddamn serial killer.
Goddamn evil serial killer. Gosh
Yep.
darn it. Oh,
You-
we're bringing them to justice.
Yep, and because you brought them to justice, your party is now rank 1 with the Flaming Fist.
Hey! Oh my gosh, dude.
I'm not
Yes.
sure. Let's see. Oh, actually, yeah, you have enough faction to reach rank 1, but you can't join. You can't actually get rank 1 unless you formally join the Flaming Fist. Yeah, you're temporarily deputized. So as long as your deputization lasts, you can use the benefits of being rank 1 in the Flaming Fist. But as soon as that goes away, unless you re-up, you lose your rank. But you keep the renown. So it's one of those, hey, you've done good. If you ever want to sign up, like we got a spot for you.
Okay, I see. So even if we don't join, if we have enough renown, if we ever do join, then we join at the rank we would be basically
Correct.
renowned.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that
it's
makes
it's not like this is gonna get lost.
I thought you were making like a timeshare. Like if I don't sign now, I lose all the I've been
Yes,
building up.
You can hang out at the Flaming Fist at the Shrimp Hole Tower for the weekend, but you have to attend a seminar. Also, so
It's like the Army Reserve, and you only have to sign up on weekends. You don't have to be here the whole time. You can just come when you have time. We'll make time for you to make time for us, and then you can help the city a better place. Don't you want to do that? It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
okay, so here's the kicker of all this. I'm running Baldur's Gate as a sandbox.
Yes.
Means I am, as much as possible, letting the chips lie where they do.
Yes.
I believe that I rolled this encounter correctly. It was a serial killer. They weren't out to kill you in particular. They fragged somebody else, went on the run. They got unbelievably unlucky.
Unbelievably unlucky.
Unbelievably unlucky. I'm going to give you less XP for this than I normally would.
Oh, what?
So-
Here's I will say this. I had put a lot of time, effort, and money into getting people with me. If it would just been me and Rhea and Darren, would have been very different. But I had the foresight to bring allies with me. So, maybe that's just good planning on Darius's part and
Hey.
luck.
You're still gaining 500 XP.
Oh wow, that's different than the 140 you initially quoted. I'm happy with that.
140 gold is what you get.
Oh!
You get 140 gold for the bounty. This was an assassin.
Oh.
The stat block on this creature was an assassin.
Oh yeah, and when they hit you, it hurts like a truck.
They have sneak attack, and if they had shot you, they would have crit you. But if this assassin was trying to kill you, if this was an assassin sent to kill you, I would have shot at you first. And you would have eaten that damage, you could have died. But it was just a random ass serial killer who likes to kill people, so I had them frag some other bastard first.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you full XP, but you're still getting a giant pile of XP, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will take off the 140 XP that I initially gave myself, thinking that's what you were talking
No,
about.
no, no. You gain 140 gold pieces for
Cool.
killing this infamous serial killer, uh, and you gain 500 XP. And that's
Wow.
already, I already did the math, so that's each. So you gain
Oh
500
my
XP.
god. Yes, we did it, chat. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Look at my face. My face is amazing. Well, that's okay actually. But well, that worked out. God, that could have gone. See, I knew that could have gone horribly. That could have been the
Mm,
worst thing I made all day. But you know what? Risk reward. Thank you, Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you, D&D Beyond. Thank you. No, I'm kidding. Thank you, everything.
I'd like to thank all the little people who made this possible.
Everything.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that was a fun thing that happened. And I know that we're about to approach 12 noon, so I feel like we can just get to the tower and
Mm-hmm.
then we'll figure it out from there. But does anything happen on our way through the wide to High? Oh, what's that place called? Not High Hall. It's the
Temp.
Citadel Suites. Oh,
It's
the temples.
temples.
Sorry, the temples.
The
You're right.
temples district. Nope. Nothing happens on the way over there. Pass through the wide.
Oh, good.
Go shopping if you want. You arrive outside.
Ah!
You arrive outside Ramazith's tower.
And I know that we don't have time to start going through this thing, but can we at least get the interaction and get that all prepped so that way, whether it's me or me with friends next time, we can just have the companions go like, "Oh yeah, Darius was heading on off to Razanus. You guys can catch him if you leave right now."
Exactly.
By the way, did the guards tell me why they weren't letting people through this gate?
Some sort of a paperwork error. Sometimes they just don't let people through the gate.
Oh, they were just being dicks.
Pretty much.
Cool. Well, hopefully they can get through the gate if they want to play with us. All right, so we make our way to Rasmus Tower, and then hey, Lonnie, open up. We're here to help.
Lorcan opens up the door. He's sort of pompously dressed as best he can. The tower itself is 6 stories high. It's made from red brick in this cylindrical with these sloped roofs. I believe I just pulled it up for chat. Let me enhance. Yep. It's over a century. It's almost a century old. It's a lot of people say it's a unique landmark in the city. Others complain that it's an eyesore that stands out and doesn't really look nice. Lorcan welcomes you into his shop. He eagerly ushers you in. And the bottom floor of the tower is his shop. He's got all these different clothes. It's almost like the front of a laundromat, but a slightly nicer laundromat because he enchants stuff here. Mostly he enchants clothes to repel moisture and mildew. It's a practical but humble pursuit, but it suggests that his mastery of magic is not extensive.
Yeah.
He has not opened the doors to the upper floors of the tower. He has only operating out of the first floor and some of the second floor. And if you can explore the higher upper rungs, he will reward you.
Perfect. Now, what is up there? I know that when we had our brief discussion in the wide, you had explained there were some issues up there. There were, assuming, experiments gone wrong. What is keeping you from going up to the upper levels exactly? And what is this tower doing to keep those things from expelling out into the high city?
Well, there's a big, scary iron door that has magical wards on it that I have not opened yet.
But you know how to open. Okay, Laura, I don't have a mage with me right now, unfortunately. I don't. Are you expecting me to open this door? Can't you wizards knock or something? You have a spell that can forcefully open locked doors. I pull him aside. Look, man, don't embarrass me in front of my friends. I told them you were a wizard. I told them that you could do things. Like, can you do things?
Behold! He does the Yen Sid from Fantasia. He's surrounded by a swirl of different colored lights, and your boots are very shiny now.
Okay. But you can get that door open, right? You're kidding me here.
That's sort of part of why I was looking for a group of adventurers.
Okay. Give me a second. Let me take a look. And I'm gonna head up. You've at least like looked around here, right? Like you know that this thing is You know what? I don't trust you. Forget it. I go up and with Darren's help, I'm going to inspect this door for traps, both
Okay.
magical and mundane.
Roll a intelligence investigation check.
Since I'm aiding a Darren, can I roll him with advantage, or is it just a straight roll?
You have to make this roll. Darren can't find magic runes.
Okay, but since Darren's helping me, can I get advantage?
Nope. Darren
Oh.
is not good at finding magical runes.
Shit. Okay. Well, I'll tell you how this is gonna go. Not great.
You still have advantage, right?
No, you told me I didn't have advantage.
Oh, but do you have inspiration?
No, I don't have any inspiration unless someone gave me inspiration. I believe I used it all. Yeah, I used it all last time. I don't have anything. But I rolled a 12, or I rolled a 13 minus 1, so you know.
Okay. Nope, you haven't found anything. But
Okay,
I will
so
say,
upon
up here, it's a small room where Lorcan stays. There is an iron door. It is welded in as well.
It's welded?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna grab. I'm assuming he's got some kind of 10-foot pole around here. He's a wizard. He's got to have.
Sure,
right?
yeah, you can have a 10-foot pole.
I grab a 10-foot pole and I say, all right, everybody get out of this room. Leave, 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 leave. I set up I grab like his bed or a desk or something, and I just shove it like 7 feet away from the door. And I take the 10-foot pole and just start banging all over around the door, just going bananas, going second edition on this thing. Just like, come on, whatever's in there, activate.
All right, as you continue to just hammer on this door, this eerie blue light appears and spreads across it in the fraction of a second, forming a glyph, and then it explodes and the room becomes incredibly icy cold. Roll a dexterity save with advantage because you took a lot of precautions.
Yes. Okay, cool. Let's do this. Dexterity advantage. I got this. Go, Darius. 25, baby.
Okay. Do you have evasion?
Not yet. I'm not.
All right. Well, the door's gonna the bed is gonna absorb like everything. What's the area of effect on this thing? Hang on.
I did make sure that I was at least 7 feet back, as far enough I could use to like actually manipulate.
Okay, it's a 20-foot radius, so that this icy cold is still gonna hit you. But I'm gonna give you like, you take 5 points of cold damage.
Okay, I'm cool with that. I duck behind the bed and I press against it. And I'm like, cold. Oh, this could be so much worse. Oh, this could be so much worse. Oh, just keep telling yourself that, Darius. It could be so much worse. Oh. And then once everything finally stops exploding, I brush the icicles that have formed around me. I rip myself away from his now frigid, messed up bed.
All of his earthly belongings are icicles now. They're just Mayblock frozen.
And I go, all right, guys, hold on. Give me just one more second. And I grab this 10-foot pole and just to make sure if I didn't miss anything. I spent another good minute or so anywhere I didn't hit, just making sure that wasn't one of two or anything like that.
Okay. No, you are pretty confident that it is not one of two.
Okay. And then on my last, crap, and the pole shatters. I'm like, oh. I go ahead and call it from back in. All right, everybody, danger's over. Come on in.
All right, they all pile around the welded shut iron door.
And I say, okay, so here's the thing, Lorcan. First of all, sorry for the bed and the nightstand. I'm sure you have magic to unfreeze that. It's fine. Thankfully, I didn't get blown up, and I show him like my frigid self. Like, dude, you were sleeping in here with that. Imagine if you would have rolled out of bed and touched that door, you would have been dead. Are you a freaking idiot? Oh,
look, man, the building was super cheap. I bought it at a steep discount. I took what I could get.
Oh, I'm well aware. I'm well aware how you operate now. Trust me. Okay, let's just say this. This right here that I just did and saved your ass from you blowing yourself up. All of us, everyone in this room, my companions, I want that washing thing, period. I could have just died just now. So that little washy part of the deal we made, yeah, that is now a gimme. And the rest of our deal will be content upon me getting this freaking door open.
Roll a persuasion check. Roll a persuasion check.
Could I do a intimidation check with advantage? Because I'm like, okay, because I am at this point kind of threatening him a little bit, like saying, hey,
I'm not going to give you advantage. But again, when you make a charisma-based check, what you can accomplish is always bounded. So I am changing the bounds based on this. But I'll let you roll intimidation or persuasion.
I'm going to roll intimidation. Not that I'm threatening him, but I'm letting him know that, hey,
You're
if you don't
strong
agree to
arming
this,
him.
I'm strong arming him. Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
19. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. All right.
My
So
hawk like lands on my shoulder and just looks at him.
it's gonna take me like I have to replace a bunch of my earthly belongings now that they all got flash frozen, and the tower isn't actually empty, but I'm not dead. So I will give
I hold up my cloak and I break a piece off of it. This could have been you.
Okay, I'll give each of you one, not an unlimited, but each of you immediately gets one minor clothing enchantment. All right.
Oh. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah.
but
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
But again, like I got to rebuild all this. I got to repay for all this stuff that broke. So
There is like internal monologue. I was just asking for free washes, but yeah, this is great. Okay, yeah, we'll get one. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. You know how to strike a hard bargain. I agree. All right. Okie dokie. Well, at this point, mate, I think what I'm going to do, since I have no idea, I don't want to play this off if my friends may come here or not.
Mhm.
I am going to go ahead, if it's okay with you. I'd like to make a thieves tool check to see if there is a lock on the door. If I could try to unlock the door, um, to see if this weld actually is what's keeping it in place, or if it's just like a ruse.
it is not a ruse. You quickly discover it is not a ruse.
Okay, so I cannot even unlock this door.
Yeah, there's no lock. It's literally just welded shut.
Oh.
With a crowbar, like obviously magic is going to make it a lot faster. Otherwise, you need like a crowbar, tools, leverage, and a couple hours of work.
I do have that actually. I have both strong people. I point at the people I hired plus Rhea. I have my crowbar. I hold that up. And before we end today's session, because I know we're getting out of time, I do want to just kind of grill Loricon a little bit and say, are you sure when you bought this thing, there wasn't like oh yes, and finally, out of all the things that are listed in the estate, there's a locked iron door. You may have seen this welded shut. If you ever want to try and go up there, this is what you have to do to undo it. You didn't get anything like that. No key, no solvent, no pry bar.
Nope.
So you let me get this straight. You bought a 6-floor tower that you could only use 1.5 floors on.
Yeah. Look, okay. Occasionally, let's say that you own a warehouse, you're a shipping company and you own a warehouse and you put down some money for your warehouse and then you go sailing and then you never return. And the landlord of the warehouse is like, well, you paid for this many months.
Possession works, Loricon.
Right, I'm just saying, it was a gamble.
If you were gonna run a washing business, you could have bought anything. Anywhere around here and
it's about the prestige. It's about the prestige. I am in Ramesses Tower. It's gonna make people take me seriously, and like there could be all sorts of fantastic, awesome magic up in here. I paid. I got it dirt cheap on the hope that something really cool upstairs is gonna turn my life around. And so,
do you think you look very grand right now?
I will once I get whatever's in the tower.
No, don't get me wrong. I know that. Look, here's the thing. I am counting on the fact that if we can get you in there and we can get you the knowledge and secrets and everything, you can do more than wash clothes. I'm counting on that. Trust me. I need that to happen. We need that to happen. However, this is not a great first impression. When you approached me asking for this help, I had assumed that you had a ready and actionable way for us to be able to actually do this. You didn't even tell me that, oh yeah, by the way, bring a bunch of pry bars. The door's sealed shut. Bring magic that can knock things. There was none of that. I came here with a bunch of people. I've already paid for the day. You understand where I'm getting at here. I've already hired people to come here and take care of this with the knowledge that this was ready to go. You would unseal the door and I would get in there. And now I'm going to have to make these poor people wait. This is costing my coin, my time. I got up at the crack of dawn for this. You understand what I'm saying here, right?
I mean, yes, but I assumed that as a proficient and renowned adventurer, whoever I found who was willing to delve into the dangers of this tower would come along with the problem-solving capabilities to overcome obstacles such as this. It's sort of
like a welded door.
Well, part of the adventurer package, you know what I mean?
I have been so far in 3 separate dungeons in this city alone. You know how many of them were sealed with a welded door? Passcodes, puzzles, a special key. My thieves tools, that can get me anywhere in the city, and you're telling me that you didn't want to slightly mention that, by the way, bring a pry bar because my entrance to my tower is sealed shut. I can't open it. Even wizard. I'm just saying, I know I'm going to get this open. Trust me. I've got the resources and time, but this, look, I've already altered the deal and I'm prepared to alter it further if there's more complications like this. You understand that, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I'll tell you what. Everything in this tower is my property, and I need it. But you can pick one thing you find, and it's yours.
Deal. Alrighty then. All right. I throw my crowbar and anything else that I have at Ray and the rest and say, all right, guys, you heard the man. Get that door open.
All right.
And
We're probably gonna leave you off with everybody like.
yep.
You just see Darren, like, he clings next to the door. He folds down a welding mask. You're not sure where that came from. And the same, like, blinding strike is...
Did you say Darren?
Darren, yeah, the hawk. Just this little tiny welding mask pops down.
Ding.
All right. We are going to go ahead and close it out for the day, but not before chat bestows upon you a treasure. And
Yay.
You're level 5 now. So the chat bestowed treasures are better. Roll percentile dice.
Oh my goodness. Everybody, the game has just changed in a huge way. Life is like a dream. 18.
18. Okay. Roll 4d6.
18.
Okay.
Wow.
Lorcan is going to sweeten your deal with chests containing 1,800 copper pieces.
Ah, god damn it. You okay? Yeah, I think Electrum. Yeah,
Electrum.
Like, look, man, I didn't want to say this, but I did have some money waiting. But you know what? I know no one would take it, but maybe you're desperate enough. Would you like some Electrum?
It's like I have here.
You don't have copper? It has to be Electrum, really?
One Electrum is worth like 50 copper or something, and he's like, no, I draw the line. I don't care if the same value weighs a pound as opposed to a percentage of a pound. I draw the line must be drawn here and no further.
It must be drawn here.
All right.
Look, Lorcan, you're already on my shit list. This is not making it any better.
All right, chat. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. We will probably have the next one in 2 weeks, but things are wibbly wobbly, so stay tuned. If you're not already on Twitter, which I'm most of you are, follow Casters and Castles on Twitter. You can watch these videos on our YouTube channel, and if you're in our Discord, you'll get up to date and information about our shows, and you can chat with your fellow fans. So, on behalf of all of us here at Casters and Castles, thank you and weekend.